Hello, all my friends in Texas. This is Sally J. Pla, the author of The Fire, the Water, and Maudie McGinn. And I'm so honored and so pleased that it's a Bluebonnet book this year. And I'm so excited for you to read it and tell me what you think. And I think for me, it's different with every book. But usually something, some question, some notion or an idea will just kind of just bother at my brain, and I'll just have to noodle around with that idea in my head for a while. For my first book, it was about a road trip. But what if a boy that hates change is forced to go through all kinds of changes in a big long car trip, and which my kids used to hate. And that turned into The Someday Birds, a story of Charlie that had to go all across the country to see his dad. And come up against, face a lot of his fears. It's funny because, and then I have a book, Stanley Will Probably Be Fine, and it's the same thing. Stanley wants to face his anxiety and get his friends back, so he decides to do something brave and scary, enter a trivia treasure hunt. And in Maudie, she has to face her fears, and she finds that she learns how to surf, and it gives her a lot of resilience and strength. Facing fears is a big thing. I think I'm looking for ways to face fears, and that's the approach of how I write all my books. I think that's kind of my modus operandi because all of my books have done the same. All of my middle grade novels, I love to slip inside the head of a character and really let you get to know that character like it's your friend. That's what I love best about books, is feeling like I've gotten to know someone, like I've entered another world and I've made a friend. And that's what I really hope you feel when you read my books. And the fact that all of my main characters are neurodivergent, which means that their brains work a little bit differently, is also super important to me. I have an autism diagnosis. I struggled a lot when I was a kid. I didn't get my diagnosis until I was an adult in middle age, like only about 9 years ago, I guess, 8 or 9 years ago now. And it answered a lot of questions as to why I struggled a lot as a kid. And that's a big part of why I want to write. I want to sort of populate my books and kids' literature in general with as many different characters as I can, whose brains work a little differently. It's really important to me. Let's see. I think that it just in general, the readers that write to me, every time I get a letter from a reader, it makes my day so much. And I've collected every single one. I've been writing. I've had some readers that just keep writing me, and have for years. We're like pen pals. And I don't know if I can see. I can move this, but I have a big bulletin board where I have a lot of letters and notes from readers and various things on there. And I like to keep it right there so that every day I can be reminded about why I do it, to make these wonderful connections with readers. Satisfying conclusions are extremely important. And I place a lot of priority and a lot of thought and a lot of work at making that ending be exciting and leave you feeling lots of emotions. Important emotions that really, make you think about the story and make it stay with you. So yeah, I work really hard for the endings. And I think about it a long time in advance. When I start a book, I already know what the end point is. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to get there, but I've put a lot of thought into where that end point needs to be. Well, young authors, I would just say enjoy writing. Write what you want. Do what it takes to make it fun for you and enjoyable for you and enriching for you. Whether that's, tapping on a keyboard or, in an app or doodling on a notepad or doodling on your wall or I don't know, whatever it is though, it doesn't matter. As long as your brain is doing some work and it's coming out your fingers some way, I think that's a really, really super important activity for us, for our hearts and for our brains. I think we learn about what we think by writing, and it can clear up a lot of things that you've been muddling through. Sometimes to just sit, grab a journal, grab like a really cheap journal and just open it up. And paper is great. I love paper. It's sort of like a therapy to just see. I spend so much time on screens that I love it. Yeah, just write whatever comes into your head or draw or whatever, and who knows where it's going to lead you. And, just do it while it's fun. I guess that's about it. I guess I could also say that reading helps a lot. It doesn't matter what you read, but the more you read, the more you enter different worlds and expand yourself, you're going to get more and more ideas about things, and you can decide about your ideas and whether you like them or not, and it just expands your world. So I wish you happy writing and reading, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful school year. Thank you very much.